Okay, time for a demo. In this demo, we are going to provision a new instance of Cosmos DB Cassandra API using the Azure portal. We are going to insert a few rows to this newly created database using a small .NET Core console application. And after that, we will examine the data in the Data Explorer. I am in the Azure portal. First, let's go ahead and create a new instance of Azure Cosmos DB Cassandra API. Clicking on Azure Cosmos DB, click on Add, and I'm going to create a new resource group for my database. Click on Create New, and I'm going to name it Cassandra Demo 01. Click on OK. For the account name, I'm choosing Cassandra Reza 01. And make sure for the API, you are choosing Cassandra. The location will be East US, so scroll up, click on East US. And I'm going to leave geo-redundancy and multi-region rights as disabled. Click on Network, Tags, Review plus Create. Our validation passed, so I'm going to simply click on Create. And let's wait for our new database to get provisioned. Okay, after about 9 minutes, my database is ready. Let's take a look. Clicking on Go to Resource, and I am landed into dashboard page of my new Cosmos DB Cassandra API database. Let's take a look at the Data Explorer. Clicking on Data Explorer, and as you can see, the visual experience I get here is very close to the other APIs. Let's go ahead and create a new table now. Clicking on New Table, and here I have the option to create a table right from the UI. I need to define a key space or use an existing key space. The key space is a container or namespace if you will, and the tables you create will be inside this key space. So let's create a new key space. I name it key space 01, and I have the option to provision a throughput at the key space level. In the next step, let's go ahead and create a new table. I am going to name this table People, and this table is going to have a few fields. The user ID, which is integer, the name, which is a text, the email, which is a text, and our primary key is the user ID. Let's click on OK, and let's wait for our table to get created. Okay, I have a new table. Let's click on it and click on Rows, and as you can see, this table is empty. So let's go ahead and create a small .NET Core console application which populates this table. I am in Visual Studio and created a small .NET Core console application. We are going to use this application to add a few rows to our new Cosmos DB Cassandra API database. First, you need to make sure you install a few NuGet packages. So right-click on the project name, Manage NuGet Packages, and let's look at the installed packages. So first, you need to install the Cassandra C# driver NuGet package. And as you can see, it is targeting the .NET standard. You also need to make sure the system.net.security NuGet package is installed. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our main application. Double-click on program.cs. So before starting, you need to grab the username, password, the Cassandra endpoint, and the Cassandra default port. And as you can see, I already populated them. But let's go to the portal and see where we can grab it from. Click on connection string, and here you can grab the contact point, the port, the username, and the primary or secondary password. Next in the code, we are going to create a session client, and after that, using this session client to connect to our key space. And after that, we can run a few queries. So let's put a breakpoint and start the application. So let's step in. First, we are going to enforce SSL. So I'm creating the option object, and after that, we are going to create a client for the cluster. Create a session object by connecting to this cluster, and in the cluster, we are going to connect to our key space node. And after that, I'm ready to run queries. So as you can see, I am inserting 3 new rows to my table. The object I'm inserting is named People, and this name should match the name of your table. So let's click on that. And as you remember, I had 3 fields in my table: user ID, name, and email. So let's go ahead and insert them one by one. And let's end the application. Now let's go back to the Azure portal and see if we can find the rows. Click on Data Explorer. Click on our table and click on rows, and as you can see, I have 3 rows added here. I also have the option to visually build queries or run a CQL query or simply add row, edit row, and delete row. Let's make more room here so you can see the delete row option as well. So now let's go ahead and delete John from this database. Make sure the row is selected and click on delete. OK, and my row is deleted. I have added a link to the course files so you can read more about the CQL query syntax. And this concludes our demo. Please make sure you clean up all the resources you created for the purpose of this demo.